Good morning. The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today is February 7th, 2023. The Committee on Parole is seated at DOC headquarters at Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with the staff at headquarters. Please introduce yourself.
Hello, Whitney Transfer.
And the meeting was convened at 8:32 a.m. Our remote location today is the State Police Barracks. With the staff at the State Police Barracks, please introduce yourself.
Lieutenant Patrick Washington.
Lieutenant Jeremy Burns.
We are ready for our first case. Would the offender please give us your full name?
Stanley S Bell.
Mr. Bell, my name is Alvin Roche. I will chair your hearing today. To my left is Mrs. Bonnie Jackson, and to my right is Mrs. Pearl Wise. We will compose your panel today. Let me explain the process, and then we'll get started with your hearing. I will read some information into the record. Once that information is in the record, we'll conduct a parole interview with you. At the appropriate time, we'll let Lieutenant Burns and Lieutenant Washington make comments if they wish. We have some supporters that would like to make statements. We have Mr. Fancy Allen, a friend, Nicole Lee, the sister, and Ms. Jamie Girardi, who's with your transition housing. Is that correct?
Correct, sir.
In opposition, we have the assistant district attorney from Jefferson Parish, Randall Myers, and we have viewing the hearing. She doesn't want to make a statement. The victim, Ms. Denise Mihane. You understand the process?
Yes, sir.
After all the statements are complete, the panel will give you a chance to make a statement on your behalf, and then the panel will vote. Let me put the information in the record. We have Stanley S Bell DOC number 344729. Mr. Bell is 45 years old. He's a second felony offender. And this is a rehearing for Mr. Bell. His first hearing was on September 29th, 2021, and he was denied. His offense is armed robbery in Orleans Parish, and he was sentenced on May 13th, 1997, and he was sentenced to 5 years. Second offense, armed robbery, Jefferson Parish. He was sentenced on December 19th, 1997. He was billed as an habitual offender, and he received a 50-year sentence. Both of those sentences are running consecutive, so the total sentence is 55 years. His parole date was March 24th, 2020, his adjusted good time date, August 8th, 2046, and his full-term date is February 3rd, 2050. Is all this information correct?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Bell, your case has been assigned to me. So first of all, tell me exactly what you do at the police station.
I work in the cafeteria as a line server, and occasionally I do a little cooking.
Okay, so you work at the cafeteria at the state police headquarters in Baton Rouge?
At the facility, at state police facility.
Okay, so you work at that facility,
Yes, sir.
okay? And how long have you been working in the kitchen?
For about 8 months now.
You just got to state police barracks in 2022.
Right.
Exactly. So tell me what you've done since your last hearing on September 29th, 2021 about 1450. Well, actually, it's been almost a year and a half. So tell me exactly what you've done in a year and a half to rehabilitate yourself.
Correct. I recently just completed welding trade. I actually got a degree in that in welding. I also went through successfully completed hospital training.
Hospice training?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Working in the infirmary. That was a good experience. I also completed living in balance. That I completed that in the past, but that was like a refreshing, and that was as well as a good experience. I also took IC3. That's like a computer class to be more familiar with the way things are operating today.
A digital class.
Yes, sir.
Now, the next question I would ask you is, you having a disciplinary write-up, but I know the answer because you wouldn't be at the police state barracks if you did.
Right.
So you hadn't had any disciplinary write-ups since your last hearing.
No, sir.
And that's a good thing. So tell us about your transition plan. If you're successful today, where do you plan to live? Where do you plan to work?
Well, I'm in contact with Mr. Green. He's got a program called Living in Balance. I mean, he got a program called Keep a Real Transitional Program. I plan to go there and attend all the classes. From my understanding, it's like a faith-based thing, to kind of help grow you as a person and, be adapted in society. Also, I have a plan to start getting a welding career and hopefully be successful in that. And I'm looking into I want to be able to buy a truck to start a business and a self business and driving trucks. That's my 5-year goal right there. That's my 5-year goal right there.
Are you thinking ahead?
Yes, sir.
Your welding degree is one of the things that Ms. Wise told you that you must complete at the last hearing.
Yes, ma'am.
Until you stay free from disciplinary write-ups, we told you to take additional programs.
Yes.
You've done so well, you've been vetted, and you've been allowed to go to police state barracks, because I know you went through a very rigid vetting process before you were even allowed to go to state police barracks. So you've done very well since your last hearing. So tell this panel why you think you're ready to be released. And your second felony offender, on your last armed robbery, you were billed as an habitual offender. And if you ever commit another felony, you may be there for the. So tell us why you think you're ready.
Okay. Well, I have been through the system. I have been very fortunate to be put in situations where I can obtain a lot of good trades, a lot of self-help programs to kind of change my way of thinking, and kind of also kind of help me exercise a lot of the bad habits into turning them into good habits and positive things that I was able to do and just being at the police barracks, it also kind of gives me a lot of confidence and to helping me understand that I'm not the same person that I used to be, and my behavior and also my character has helped me understand that I can even be greater than thus far that I am now. And I really believe that I'm capable of going out there and being successful.
And you are. And you are. Now, have you ever had an addiction to drugs or alcohol?
Well, in the past, when I was younger, I have smoked marijuana.
Was the armed robberies a result of a alcohol or drug problem?
I think it wasn't. I think it was just a bad choice that I made, a horrible choice that I made. And I don't want to blame it on drugs or anything, but I just want to take ownership and accountability of the mistakes that I made in the past.
Mr. Bell, have you ever used anything other than marijuana?
No, sir.
You've never experimented with any other thing? Do you think you need a substance abuse treatment program to make sure that the addiction to marijuana won't come back to haunt you?
In my opinion, I feel like that the classes that I took, it's a constant reminder of who I am now. And I feel like marijuana was just an experiment to me and not a excuse or a crutch of why I did what I did. So, but I did take the classes, I did go through the steps to ensure that that my experiment won't come back and be a hindrance to me.
Okay, I want to put some information in the record. Mr. Bell had a hearing on September 21st, 2021. He was denied his prior criminal history. He needed programs, and he's got those programs. And he was urged to complete the welding program that he's completed. He recently completed anger management, 100 hours pre-release, living in balance. He has no supervision history, and he has a low risk assessment. Lieutenant Barnes, would you like to have any comments, remarks, or observations?
I'm going to defer to Lieutenant Washington, where we're swapping these out. I'm just observing, so I'm going to refer to Lieutenant Washington.
Sounds good. Lieutenant Washington,
Good morning.
good morning.
So I'll say this about Mr. Bell. Though he's only been here 8 months, the nature of our program gets us, allows us to be more personal with the offenders who are here. Him working on the compound increases that ability. We have a lot of time to conversate because he works right there in the cafeteria close to our office. And I can say, I don't know who the man was, but just the 8 months that we've been around one another, I'm very glad that I got to know him. He's always upbeat, always positive, always has something encouraging to say to people. And I'm happy that he has this opportunity to be before y'all today. And hopefully y'all, can see the change in him. He spoke of change earlier. And people can say, I want to change, I want to change, I want to change, but actions speak louder than words. And I think Mr. Bell has put forth some serious action to make his situation better.
Thank you, Lieutenant Washington.
You're welcome.
Ms. Jackson, any questions?
Just a couple. Mr. Bell, how long have you been incarcerated on this charge?
27 years.
And how old are you now?
45.
So you were how old when you committed these crimes?
I was 18.
Okay. So you pretty much grown up in prison, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Looking back, I understand nobody enjoys being in jail, but do you think this period of incarceration was a blessing for you?
Yes, ma'am. You couldn't have said it no better. I truly feel like this was a blessing because had not this happened, I don't even want to think about what the results or where I would have been. But so yes, ma'am. It truly was a blessing.
Thank you. That's all I have, Mr. Rorschach.
Ms. Wise?
Mr. Bell, I just want to commend you again for that welding. That's something that nobody can take from you. Have an opportunity to take victim impact.
Victim impact. No, I took victim awareness. I don't think, no, ma'am.
That's close enough. It was quite a while ago, but if you had an opportunity to speak to your victims, one of your victims is deceased. I just want to put that on the record. And her family member just, she just deferred to the wisdom of the board to letting you out. Her passing didn't have anything to do with the crime, and it was years later. And one other victim is observing today. So speaking to us, what would you say if you were 19 years old then, and you are what you are now? What would you say to the victims?
I would like to, first of all, I would like to apologize for the horrible mistake that I made to involving the family, Ms. Dennis Benson, and a horrible crime that I did, and they didn't deserve that. And I ask that they could find it to forgive me. And I also want to apologize. I also want to apologize for the passing of the member and their family as well.
I realize you're nervous. I can tell that you're nervous, but I do feel like you have thought about that.
Yes.
Is that something that you think you would ever do again?
No, ma'am. No, not in my worst moment. No, ma'am.
It's good to hear. That's all I had, Chairman.
Thank you, Ms. Wise. At this point, we're going to hear from Mr. Fancy Allen, a friend. Mr. Allen? Or is that Miss Allen?
Yes, I'm on.
Okay, I'm sorry. Is that Fancy or?
It's Fancy Allen.
Okay. You have 3 minutes, Ms. Allen.
Okay, I just pray that everything goes well for Mr. Stanley Bell. I call him Peanut. I've been with him as his friend for a long time, just as long as he's been there, I've been, and I see the change. I see the greatness that he has become. You know, I see the change that's gonna come, and I just wish the best for him. And I wish that you guys would see the best that I see in him and that God sees in him, because I see the change in him. And he's been striving a long time to do the right thing. And I just want to see that God put him out there to be the man that he intended him to be. And, you know, I pray that you guys see that. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Allen.
You're welcome.
Now we're gonna hear from his sister, Mr. Nicole Lee. Ms. Lee?
Yes.
Yes, Ms. Lee, could you stay still?
Mhm.
And what's your statement?
Hi, my name is Nicole Lee, and that's Stanley. Peanut is my brother. We call him Peanut. I just want to ask, and I pray that you all can see the change in him. My brother, we grew up, it was difficult. Our parents worked a lot and stuff, but I know that he has changed, and that he's asking for forgiveness from the victim. He was young. He was, and that type of, he just got caught up in the system. And I'm not making excuses, because he's accountable. His accountability for his wrong that he's done, and he's been incarcerated, like one of the councilmen said, for, he grew up there. He's lost his father, my sister, who just recently passed last year. So to have my brother home and know that he's changed, I feel like he deserves this chance in life at 45. His kids are grown now, and life is just so short. But I know that he's very sorry about the things that happened that he did when he was younger. But he's a grown man now, and he understands his wrong. So I just hope and pray that you all can see that in him, because we see that in it as a family and friends.
Thank you, Ms. Lee.
Thank you.
Now we'll hear from the person at the President Housing, Mr. Roddy.
Mr. Roche, I'm not sure that I heard you. Were you talking about the transitional living?
Yes.
Okay, I apologize. I'm sorry. Good morning, everyone. I've enjoyed actually listening to this hearing, which I don't always say at parole hearings, but I'm really excited for the opportunity to work with Mr. Bell. He used the term bad choices, and I love that he recognizes that this was a series of bad choices. That shows accountability. The other thing is, anytime somebody has a family that's able to support them, but they choose to come to a transitional living program, it shows their extent of mindset of change. He's chosen to put himself in this situation that's more structured with the support staff surrounding him. So we do actually substance addictions meetings every week at the facility. So that he'll automatically have that covered with a lot of peer support. And he's coming into an environment with other men who have successfully transitioned home. So that is just, it's a great opportunity for him, and we'll also help him with job placement. So he'll be with us for 6 to 12 months. That's up to the decision of the board, of course, and himself. But I'm really looking forward to walking with him through this transition home. And he had so many things in what he was saying, even though he was nervous, that were standing out to me as positive things. He's taken the last 2 years to prove how serious he is about his freedom and the changes. So we definitely defer to the wisdom of the board, but from our standpoint, we are really excited to see him come to us.
Thank you, Mr. Roddy.
I have a question. What's the name of the program now?
It's Keep It Real Transitional Living, and actually we go through a lot of the parole hearings and have guys there. So we thank you all so much for what you do.
Where's it located? It's my first thing.
That's okay. We're in Greater New Orleans area. We're in St. Bernard Parish, just outside of New Orleans.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wise. Now we hear from the opposition, Mr. Randy Myers from the Jefferson Parish DA's office.
Good morning, Randall Meyer, Assistant DA in Jefferson Parish. I think we remain opposed to Mr. Bell today. Victim opposition. The one thing that hadn't got completed from the last hearing was a long-term substance abuse class, which Ms. Wise asked for the welding, as well as a long-term substance abuse treatment program. I know he completed Living in Balance since then, but I think a longer-term program would be much more beneficial for him. So due to the nature of the offense with the 3 armed robberies, the victim opposition, and the failure to complete a long-term plan, we're opposed.
And I think I can solve that, Mr. Myers, by sending it into Keep It Real transition housing for 12 months and have an in-house substance abuse program, and you will be mandatory for him to attend on a weekly basis. Thank you, Mr. Myers. Mr. Bell,
Yes, sir.
would you like to make a brief statement?
Yes, sir. I just would like to thank yourself and the rest of the board, as well as everybody that spoke up, because it was important for me to understand, everybody what's going on and how everybody feel about this hearing, and how important it is for me as well to be accountable, continue to be accountable for as a man, and as a human being, for other people's lives and also for myself, because for every mistake or a wrong decision is very costly, and I understand it, and I appreciate the time that everybody put out today, and I just pray that the board understand that I have changed and see it and grant me parole.
Well stated, Mr. Bell. Is the panel ready to vote?
Yes.
Mr. Bell, I sat on the last panel about 18 months ago, and I see a vast improvement. You've got vetted and was selected for the State Police Barracks, one of the premier facilities in corrections in the state of Louisiana, a zero tolerance shenanigans. You completed your welding program. You completed other programs. You sought out additional housing that's suited for you. You have everything in place. Therefore, I'm going to grant your early release because you've done everything this board has asked you to do. I want you to follow the conditions after release. Those conditions are, you have a curfew from 9 p.m. to 6 a.m. or any other curfew that's mandated by the Keep It Real transitional housing. I want you to attend that in-house substance abuse classes on a weekly basis. I want you to do some community service with at-risk youth. I'm almost sure the transition housing director can help you with that. I want you to tell your story. You have a story to tell. You're 18 years old. And you have a 27, 28-year story to tell and try to lead those young people in the right direction. And I want you to have random drug screens just to make sure that you stay free from drugs and alcohol so that you can maintain your freedom. Do you understand those conditions?
Yes, sir.
This is wise.
Mr. Bell, I love when you said that you know the cost. You know the cost. You know firsthand the cost of your choices. I encourage you to make that a part of your presentations when you're teaching the kids. That's something they might be able to relate to. There's a cost in your choices. I concur. I enjoyed meeting you. The warden at the other institution said great things about you, and today you're getting great things from this staff. So you've been consistent. My vote is to as well. And I concur with the special conditions set forth by Mr. Roche. Best wishes to you, sir. We don't want to see you no more.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Bell, honestly, I have enjoyed listening to you quite a bit. You're very insightful. You have a very good sense of awareness of yourself. I just enjoyed very much listening to you talk. I'm very impressed by what I heard. You have done everything that the board requested of you since your last hearing. You have such positive remarks from those at the state police and other facilities about the kind of person you are. And you were just a kid when all of this was going on. And you've grown up in prison and you have excelled. And so my vote today would be to grant your early release to the Keep It Real transition plan and with the same conditions as Mr. Roche. So good luck to you, Mr. Bell. Peanut.
Mr. Bell, you have received 3 votes to grant your early release under the conditions. Do you understand the conditions?
Yes, sir.
And you are to stay at this transition housing for 12 months. In that 12 months, it will roll in probation and solidify your permanent residence and get it approved.
Yes, sir.
Good luck.
Thank you, sir.
Have a good day.
You too.
You gotta get out of here now because we know who that.
Yeah, of course, the DA shows up to make sure that this evil villain stays off the streets. Great job, Randy. You're saving us all. Proud of you. Where are you for the other cases? Where are you for the real cases? This guy, he's serving like 55 years for armed robbery, and he really did get shafted. I'll drop the link in the description. Like his armed robbery, it was an armed robbery. He went somewhere with a gun that causes trauma. He stole the money. He didn't hurt kids. He didn't kill anyone. He didn't shoot at anyone. And what happened was that he had pled to the armed robbery and was given 5 years. But then for some reason, the judge allowed him to take back his plea and go to court. And I don't know if he didn't listen to his attorney, if his attorney, for some reason, he thought that was a great idea to go to trial. He went to trial and he lost. And then once he got convicted, they basically threw on the habitual offender thing. Remember, this is the 90s. This is when they were just locking everyone away for throwing away the key. And then they added on the habitual offense stuff. I don't know when his other robberies were, but it's not like he did a robbery, got locked up, went out, did a robbery, they just added it all in, and they gave him the 50-year sentence and then the 5-year sentence for 55 years to run concurrently. Sick. And the DA shows up to keep him locked up. Crazy. Sorry. I got worked up over it because it's just like, come on. He served his time. He's doing great. He really needs to be in there longer. Please. Well, it seems like a happy ending in the end. He was going down a bad road. It seems that he's gotten a lot out of prison, and glad to see that he's home. I'm just saying, like, the idea of, anyways, with that, I'll let you go.